On today's Star Wars Legends lore video, we talk about Palpatine's reaction to Thrawn's death. Hey guys, this is EckhartsLadder. Hello and welcome to another episode of Star Wars Legends lore. Today's video is once again sponsored by the fine folks over at the EckhartsLadder Discord. Do you want to talk Star Wars, Halo, Warhammer, vote on upcoming video ideas, and just interact with the community? Join the Discord at discord.gg/EckhartsLadder. So today we have what I consider to be a fascinating video topic because we're talking about two of my favorite characters in Star Wars. But we have to start from the beginning. So before I answer the question of today's video, I'm going to give an extremely shortened history of Thrawn and Palpatine's relationship. The two first met before the Clone Wars, during the Outbound Flight expedition. At that time, Thrawn was still part of the Chiss, and Palpatine was the Supreme Chancellor of the Republic. By explaining that the Outbound Flight could anger the Yuuzhan Vong and start an invasion, Palpatine convinced Thrawn to strike out and disable the Outbound Flight. Mithra-Nirodo agreed to do so, and ended up greatly impressing the Chancellor with his tactical and strategic mind. After this event, Thrawn yearned to join the Empire, and would eventually force the Chiss to exile him through his continued push of his philosophy of preemptive strikes. Of course, there's a lot more nuance to this. Thrawn didn't necessarily respect the ideology of the Empire, and he still cared about the Chiss ascendancy, but we'll cover that some other day. Anyway, during his exile, Thrawn made his way to the Empire, cleverly securing a position within the Imperial Navy. There, he would further develop his relationship with Palpatine and climb through the military ranks quickly. However, because he was an alien from the unknown regions, many within the Imperial elite did not accept Thrawn's growing influence, and pushed for Palpatine to move the Chiss to a less prominent position in the Outer Rim or beyond. By this point, Thrawn had not only earned the exclusive rank of Grand Admiral, but also the even more rare rank of Warlord, giving him not only military but also civil control over vast portions of space. In the guise of appeasing the aliens' detractors, Palpatine moved Thrawn to the unknown regions. In reality, Palpatine was not at all worried about military politics. Thrawn was moved out of charted space to establish the Empire of the Hand, an arm of the Empire meant to pacify and consolidate the unknown regions. This would not only extend the influence of the Empire, but also create a first buffering line of defense against the extragalactic Yuuzhan Vong. While still totally part of the Empire of the Hand was a distinct quasi-government with its own doctrines and military style. In many ways, the Empire of the Hand was more militarily sound, using a combination of Chiss and Imperial practices. But more on that as well on a different day. During Thrawn's strategic exile to the unknown regions, the rebel threat continued to grow in the galaxy. This would of course lead to the Battle of Endor and the first death of the Emperor. Now, neither of these events would spell the final end of Sidious or the Empire as a whole, and 5 years later, Thrawn would return and wage a devastating campaign against the Republic. Although he almost managed to reinstate the Empire, Thrawn would die during the final battle after being betrayed by his bodyguard Rook. In the end, although Thrawn did stop some infighting among warlords and he consolidated power, the only benefit the Empire as a whole would gain from his campaign is some extra territory. While the Empire lived on through Thrawn and other warlords, Palpatine also returned to life, his spirit inhabiting a reborn clone body. He would remain silent through the Thrawn campaign, only re-emerging to lead the Dark Empire after the Chiss's defeat. The question is thus, why did he wait? The New Republic was already overwhelmed by Thrawn's offensive. Had Palpatine and Mithra-Nirodo struck together, they could have easily seized control of the galaxy. We get some insights into the thoughts and megalomania of Palpatine in the Dark Empire sourcebook. I'm going to read two quotes. His forces had failed him, and the price for failure was what it had always been, death. As years passed and he grew stronger, he began to concentrate more on his dark side studies. Still, he did grow occasionally concerned when one leader or another would come close to silencing the others and claiming the throne. When his servant Thrawn made his claim, Palpatine could only watch in sadness. He had hoped Thrawn would know better. It was heartening to see how effectively Thrawn dealt with the cruel hand fate had dealt him. A lesser person would have despaired, but a lesser person would never have been chosen as a Grand Admiral in the first place. Still, no contender could be allowed to become too powerful. It was no accident when Thrawn fell. Then later, Palpatine never knew if Thrawn guessed that he was being used to divert attention from his own return. So this presents us with not only Palpatine's thoughts, but his reasons for not intervening. It's clear that in Legends, like in the new canon, Palpatine believed that the Empire was not an organization, but a manifestation of the Emperor himself. The Emperor is thus the only one fit to lead it, which is why he despairs that Thrawn tries to take up the mantle as a quasi-emperor himself. He was simultaneously impressed, once again, by the skills of Thrawn, but disappointed that he didn't either believe that the Emperor was coming back or wanted to strike out on his own. Palpatine also used the chaos created by the Thrawn campaign to further grow his forces and prepare for Operation Shadow Hand. It's not surprising then that less than a year after Thrawn's death, the Dark Empire launched a massive assault on the New Republic, taking even the planet Coruscant. Still, it's interesting to think of a scenario where Thrawn and Palpatine were both active at the same time. I wonder whether Myth-Ra Naroda would have fallen in line behind the Reborn Emperor. The Dark Empire was a more sinister force than even the initial Galactic Empire. We know that some Imperials did find out about Palpatine's rebirth and fled to him, but this knowledge was likely unavailable to someone like Thrawn, who was waiting in the unknown regions. What do you think would have happened? Let me know down in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's one of a set that I'm creating about the Dark Empire. If you want to check out another one, check the annotation in the top right corner. If you want to learn about Palpatine's ultimate ambitions for the universe, make sure to give this video a like and also let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, this has been EckhartsLadder. May the Force be with you.